Assalamualaikum everyone. I'm Lal-ain and welcome to Lal-ain's Diary and I hope that you all are fine. Okay, so do you know who is our guest today? Yeah, you may have seen the poster that I posted on my official page, Lal-ain's Diary, that today our guest is Dr. Cynthia Stone. Like, you may be wondering, who is she? Then let me just give you a little small introduction of her. Yeah, you know that she's an award-winning trainer, leader, speaker, a 2x global best-selling author, global relationship guru, actress and model, and she's from Canada. And she believes in inspiring and leading the world. And today she is joining us in Lala's Diary show as a guest. So let's invite her to the studio and have a wonderful talk with her. Okay, hi. Your mic is muted.
Hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. I am unmuted now. Yay.
It is so great to have you in our show. So, first of all, thank you very much for joining in my show. And as you all know, that can you first give an introduction of yourself? I've given a really short introduction. Can you briefly define it to us?
Absolutely. And thank you so much for your beautiful introduction and for having me on your platform. I am a global relationship guru. That actually started probably when I was very young. I found that I was very empathetic. And I didn't even know what that word meant. I just know that I walked into a room and I would feel people's pain. And it was more emotional pain than physical, although it did sometimes manifest that way as well. And I would want to comfort them. I would go out of my way to make sure that they were having a better day and that I could ease their pain in some way, just by having a loving, glance, being there for them, listening to their story, honoring their stories. I think a lot of times people just want to be heard. And so that followed me throughout my life. And I realized, I have this huge heart for a reason. So I really want to do something with it. And I didn't quite know where to go. I was really struck by homelessness in my city here. Just seeing people, recovering from heart attacks on the street was heartbreaking to me. And so I really wanted to be the change I wanted to see in the world, to quote that famous quote. And so I would sit with them on street corners and listen to them and realize, this is something that I would love to do with my life. So I looked around and psychology caught my eye. But after doing 1 year of psychology in school, I'm like, nope, I don't want to give people diagnoses and pills. I just want to be able to help them help themselves. And that prompted me actually to look further. And I ended up coming across something called community work, which is all about leadership. It's all about helping people help themselves, building upon their strengths, mobilizing communities, and drawing upon the existing strengths already existing in the communities. And I love that because it's not about me being an expert. It's about me drawing the expertise out of people. And so it was a beautiful field. I did that. I ended up going into addictions counseling after that, pursued social work, got my master's degree in that, and ended up being awarded the advocacy, a doctorate, the honorary doctorate, giving a voice to the voiceless. And I've really, dedicated myself to being the change, to serving humanity, to being the love to serve. And I think that definitely my story was unique and I didn't really realize it, but I was pouring myself into the homeless for over a decade and crying myself to sleep at night because I realized that as much as I wanted to help them, the help has to come from within. People need to want to have the help. They need to want more for themselves. And I found that a lot of the people I was serving, despite having the opportunity to have a different life, to have a different fate, they were choosing to die a slow death and in the form of homelessness. And so that was heartbreaking for me. And I would cry myself to sleep and I turned it over to a higher power. And the next day, after serving them for over a decade, I was said, why are you with us? You should be in Hollywood. And I'm like, why are the homeless telling me I should be in Hollywood? That's so weird. And so I ended up doing everything else because I thought that was crazy. I didn't study, acting. What are you talking about? And so I did all the different humanitarian work, Guyana, post-Hurricane Katrina. And no matter where I went, there was always a video camera. Tell us what you're doing here. What's going on? And I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay. I think that the universe is trying to tell me something. The Lord, thank you. And so I ended up pursuing it and applied for an acting role, ended up going to the audition. They loved me. And then it went across North America, Canada and US. And it was such a fun experience. And they were like, wow, you're so great. How long have you been acting? And that's the beauty of the world, is that we are encouraged to find our own gifts and share them with the world. And so then I ended up going into Hollywood and doing a lot of amazing things there. Went to the Emmys, met with a lot of, celebrities, and realized that as much as they have everything, you look at them and you think they have the whole world, fame, fortune, beauty, glamour, all of that. But in the end, all of the happiness that you seek is within you. And I came to realize that no matter if you're homeless or home full, if you're rich or if you're poor, it's all about the inner world that you create. And when I came back to Canada and I realized this and I started sharing this experience, people told me, you should be speaking about this. This is amazing. And then it prompted me to go into the speaking, the training, the writing, and here I am today. So that's a bit about me.
That is, that is a really great story of yours. I'm, so much inspired by your work. So, as you've also told in your introduction that you're a award-winning trainer, leader, and speaker. So, can you tell us that how was your first experience as a speaker?
Uh,
Like, how was it?
Wow. It was, they say that people are more scared of public speaking than they are of dying, which means that you'd rather be the one in the casket than the one giving the eulogy at a funeral. And I was like very nervous, I would say that. I mean, even though I've given monologues and acting and all of this, it was a different kind of scenario where I was on stage and it was a speaking competition because I was encouraged to go into this. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. So then I ended up just speaking from my heart and just asking, please, speak through me. I just want to be able to share my message and be, a source of inspiration if I can, like just help lift people's spirits. And so I don't even know what I said. I was just like, okay, it just flowed out of me. And the next thing I knew, I was done and people were clapping. And I was like, wow, this is like, what just happened? And I sat down and I was like, okay, and I was listening and riveted by all these amazing speeches. And I'm like, wow, what an amazing event to be a part of. And to my shock, I was called on stage as an award winner and I was like, what? It was so shocking to me. And I think that's the thing. Like sometimes we underestimate ourselves, that we have these gifts, and it's all about taking that first step, even if you don't see the full staircase. It's all about stepping into your fear, even if it's so terrifying to you, because it's never as bad as you think, as you picture it. Because I pictured, oh my gosh, it's going to be so bad. I'm going to forget everything I said. And, people are just going to be staring at it. They're going to laugh, whatever it is. And I ended up just speaking from my heart. And I think that that's where the courage lies. Like when you step into your heart, when you step into your passion and just allow the words to flow. And it was so amazing. So yeah, definitely. I think it was a combination of fear and excitement. And I think that a lot of times we mistake fear for, we mistake the excitement we have for fear. Like we'll have these feelings and we're like, oh my gosh, I don't know. Like, what am I going to do? How's it going to go? And then you realize that it's actually just excitement, that you're like, this is going to be a new experience for me. And I'm just going to run with it and have fun with it and just do it. And when you do, oh my gosh, like on the other side of fear is that success, that exhilaration. You did it. And now there's nothing holding you back.
That is really great. Like it is, such an interesting story of yours. You are giving your answers, and some of them are even a little bit shocking. Like you said the true thing, that we shouldn't be, afraid of the thing that we picture in our mind. We should just do what our heart says. And I that also happens to me sometimes. I also get sometimes scared that how am I gonna do the show, like I'm gonna mess up, I'm gonna forget the questions and stuff like that. I picture these things in my mind whenever I'm doing any kind of interview, and in the end sometimes some mistakes get made, but most of the time the interviews always go amazing. Okay, so you told your experience as a speaker, and that was a great experience as you've told. So what is one thing that you love about speaking in public?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's so amazing. I think that when you're able to share something from your heart, from your when you can turn your pain into purpose, when you can turn your trauma into triumph, when you can turn your story into glory, that is so powerful. It's liberating because not only are you realizing that you went through the suffering for a reason, but your journey can help somebody else going through something similar. And I think that that is the most profound thing, that it's not at all about me. It's about having the message come forth to help people on their journey. Because really, I just want to be able to help people help themselves, to realize that everything that they're seeking is already within them. And that if my words can help to, have that epiphany, that aha moment for someone, then that to me is the greatest gift of all.
Yeah, helping people is really a good job that you're doing, and I hope that you get successful in this mission of yours of helping people. And okay, so if you think that you can give advice, so what kind of advice are you going to give to the youth or teens who also want to be or are trying to be a public speaker?
Absolutely. I would say it's all about celebrating your uniqueness. That as a youth, often you're dismissed as a youth. You're like, oh, you're just a kid. What do you know? You're not an adult yet. All these different things that stand in the way. But at the end of the day, you are the young adults of the future. You are the future. And I think it's just about stepping into that power and recognizing what you bring. I think that a lot of times we underestimate ourselves, we devalue ourselves, we put ourselves down. We start taking in a lot of the negative kind of things that have been said about youth. And start internalizing them, and they become a part of our worldview. And what I would say to you is start celebrating who you are. Start looking at research and finding youth leaders around the world. And the beauty of it is it's all at our fingertips. We can go on YouTube, TikTok, whatever happens to be, and find the people that resonate with our soul, that really, bring that inspiration out of us. And then we can start changing the words in head office and start actually programming ourselves for success. Because I think a lot of us, we don't realize that whatever we take in, we become. And so if you're around people that constantly put you down, oh, you're just youth, you don't know, you haven't lived yet, I have all these years of experience, it doesn't matter. Everybody has their own journey. And I've seen so many old souls, people that seem wise beyond their years. This is just a costume. You are a soul. So don't allow your costume to limit you, to define you. Recognize the wisdom, the brilliance that you have, and don't let anyone diminish your light.
Yeah, that is a really great piece of advice, and I hope that every person who is listening to you right now could understand the meaning of the advice and pay attention to it as well. You really give awesome advices. Okay, and I was so amazed that you are also a actress and a model. So it is an honor to have an interview with an actress and a model as well. So that is really amazing. So um as you're a actress, so can you tell me that how different it is to act in a movie and to act in a theater play? Like, what would be the difference about it?
Yes, definitely. I feel like, all our lives, like we're all actors in some way. Like we go through, to our jobs and we act like we love our job, even though we don't, or we act like we are happy when in reality we're feeling sad. And I think it's all about finding that realism and finding that connection to your true self. And I think a lot of us are afraid to really show who we truly are. We put on these masks. And no, I'm not talking about the COVID masks. I'm talking about the masks that show the world, this is who I am, because we think that we'll be more appreciated that way. And the field of acting is so unique because it allows you to bring characters to life. And whether it's in theater or whether it's on TV or film, this is all about finding your connection to the character you're portraying. And so the beauty of it is because of all the social work background that I had, I was able to tap into a lot of the psychology of the characters that I was portraying. And I could actually see people that I used to counsel. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I know this person. I know this person. And it's so fascinating. Now, the thing about TV and film is that I'm very expressive, as you notice. Like I'm very like, like with my facial expressions and all of that. Now, everything gets 10 times, like really larger than life when you're on TV and film. So you really have to minimize it, draw it back. Like if anything, I'm so expressive that sometimes I just have to pull it back. But the beauty of it is, what they find a lot of time is that people have a hard time just going out there. So if you go out there, they can always pull it back. But if you don't go out there at all, it's harder to push you to do that. So it's really about being free, liberating yourself, and just celebrating who you are. Because as you're able to tap into your true greatness and not shy away and allow yourself to shine like the diamond you are, then you can absolutely find that people will be drawn to you. And that is the nature of the acting field. You want to be able to impact the masses with your message, bring that character to life, and really hone who you are, but lose who you are at the same time. So yes, I am Cynthia, but I lose Cynthia in this process and I become the character. And then I'm able to tap into my true feelings. Like if I were in this position, how would I feel? And it's just really, and that goes in the TV as well as theater, because when you are able to connect to that human emotion, then it translates across all mediums. Theater is more expressive. And the beauty of theater is that when you're on stage, unlike film, you're getting the emotions, the reactions from the audience, which is a delight. Oh my gosh. Like, so you're doing something and then all of a sudden you start feeling this energy from the masses and you're like, "Oh wow," like somebody's crying in the front row and you're like, "Oh, this is great." So it's nice to be able to see like the instant impact. With film, it's different, but it's still very powerful. And I can say that I've had the experience of having a hybrid as well, which is really neat. So there was one case where I was flown to Africa and I was doing my monologue in a rural village in Africa where they had never seen a white person before. So they kept saying this word and I'm like, what does that mean? They're like, it's ghost. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a ghost, because they couldn't figure out what I was. And I was blonde at that time. So very, very like, woo. And I was giving my monologue and they were mesmerized. First of all, the ghost was talking. They were all hearing this. And then what I was saying, I was losing myself. I was talking about the liberation of Zimbabwe. I was talking about racism. And I was losing myself and just finding the impact, the power of the message, what I wanted to convey. And I lost sight of where I was. I was no longer in my physical form. I felt like I was just expressing the medium. And it wasn't until I started hearing the crying of the villagers around that I realized, wow, here I am. And I think that that's the beauty of it, is sometimes we can lose ourselves in what we're doing. And the beauty of the live audience is that they can pull you back. The filming aspect can be tremendously powerful as well, because there were times when I've been in, audition rooms, for example, and giving my, monologue and hearing their comments. Okay, let's do it again, but let's have this. And it's really awesome because then it's able to push you to find another depth, another level. So both of them are really powerful mediums, and I love them both. I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, that is a really perfect answer of yours. But in what I have guessed by your answer, that you love theater more than the movie, but than the filming areas. Okay, so there's also one question that has been on my mind right now, that which has been your favorite character that you've performed?
Ha! That is a tough one. The ha, what has been my favorite character? I mean, I really love pushing myself to new depths and to be able to find new aspects, like pushing my boundaries and finding how far I can go and how much I can really tap into the next level. Because I think it's all about growth. Like that's what life is about, and that's what the acting field is about. I ended up doing this one called Calla Lily, where I played Melanie. And this character was really powerful to me because she had gone through, a very punitive kind of life. Like she had been assaulted, and because of that, she had had a child, and she carried this pain with her. And then it was all about her transformation, her liberating, her breaking away from that pain, and finally finding that cathartic release, that room for forgiveness. And I think that it was really profound. For whatever reason, that one pops into my mind as being a really powerful, compelling story. I think that between that one and the one I had spoken about in Zimbabwe, where I spoke about the liberation, and I think that they're both similar in the sense that it's about liberating. It's about freedom. It's about self-expression. It's about finding that you are not this costume that you've rented, that you are far more. It's about stepping into your greatness. It's about letting go of the pain and recognizing that the pain does not have to define you, that you can absolutely use those moments as lessons and receive the blessing, that you can absolutely transform your trauma and become a better, wiser, stronger version of yourself. So between Calla Lily and Chinhoyi 7, I would say that those are my two favorite. I know it's two instead of one, but they're similar. I definitely, there are so many amazing roles. But yeah, those two stand out for me.
Okay, that is really great. As you're saying, the story is really amazing. Okay, and what has been your biggest achievement in the field of acting?
Ooh. My biggest achievement, I think, was actually when I landed my first role. I was like so surprised. I think that just actually accepting the mission, recognizing the pattern in my life that had led me to that moment, that no matter where I turned, I was being directed towards this field. And it was about stepping into that unknown and just facing my fear and saying, you know what? The worst that can happen is I don't get the role. And that's okay because it wasn't mine to begin with. And then when I actually did it, and just feeling that sense of like, wow, between that and then actually going to a different, place in the world, like going to Africa and actually, taking part in this production that was so profound. I think that those two were highlights because it was about taking that first step, even though I didn't know what would happen. And it was about stepping into the unknown. Like I had always wanted to go to Africa, but I had no idea. I I was not, I don't think you can ever prepare for a new experience. So it's about saying yes and just celebrating. I also had the opportunity to go to the Emmys, and that was pretty amazing. So I think that, yeah, there's a myriad of different accomplishments in that sense. But the very first thing I would say is just about saying yes and
There may
taking
be
that
a
step.
problem because your picture is frozen and I can't hear you.
Can you hear me
Okay,
now?
this thing happened mostly. I'll just try to. Okay, it is. Okay, now your picture is not frozen. Yeah.
Yay!
Okay, now
Okay.
you can continue.
I would say that my number one accomplishment is about saying yes to going into the field to begin with. It was about actually going into that audition room, even though I was not ever
Okay,
schooled in
I
it.
seriously do not know why does this happen. Let me recheck again. Okay, your picture is still frozen. Okay, yeah, now it is good. Yes. Now
All
can you
right.
please continue? Yeah.
So I would say that my number one accomplishment was actually just stepping into it and saying yes. That despite all of my schooling that was geared towards social work and helping humanity, I said yes and I stepped into the unknown, which was terrifying. And I had really, doubted my abilities, but said yes anyways and proceeded as if and allowed my divine to shine. It was all about recognizing that we're given gifts sometimes where we don't actually understand where they come from. We didn't go to school for it, and yet somehow we're naturally gifted. And so when I actually accepted those gifts and started to utilize them, I think that that was my biggest accomplishment. So when I stepped into that world and accepted my first audition and did the audition, and then to my amazement, got the role, I think that that was my most profound accomplishment to date.
That is great. Okay, so also, you are a really great actress. You are, you are giving really great advices, and also, I read in your intro that you are a best-selling author as well. Well, I love books. I love books so much. So I really wanted to know that what kind of book have you written?
Oh yeah. Now this is so neat because I never pictured that I would ever be a writer. And that also scared me. I was like, oh my gosh, you want me to write? What? And so what had happened is in my journey, I was doing a lot of personal growth and development. And I ended up meeting some people that were talking about doing a compilation where they were actually all going to join together and have this book called the Itty Bitty Book of Words. And everybody was going to contribute a word. And I'm like, well, that's neat because, then I don't have to write a full book. It's just a word. So it starts with a word. It starts with you. And that's the beauty of it is that, we take it in baby steps, like learning to walk. We have to crawl before we learn to walk. So in this case, this was my crawling phase. So I ended up coming up with my word Canarican, which is a combination of Canadian and American. And I ended up putting it into this book and just leaving it to, whatever happens, happens. Well, to my surprise, it ended up becoming a bestseller. And I was like blown away, like, whoa. From there, I was excited. I was hooked. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to do more writing and like more serious writing, right? Not to say that wasn't serious, but I wanted to really pour into this because I realized that I actually do have a love for it. Then I ended up getting approached by Robert J. Moore with the Magnetic Entrepreneur. And what he had in mind was that he was going to pull together a group of people, again, another compilation, where they are entrepreneurs that are doing magnificent things. So, kind of like the title of this talk, an ordinary person doing extraordinary things. And I was blown away by the people in this book. Like they were just amazing movers and shakers that had a vision, that were proceeding and really making tremendous changes in the world. world. And I was like, wow, this is an incredible honor to be around such amazing people and such a great idea. And so I ended up submitting my biography for this book. And then the next thing I knew, we were all invited to do a book signing. Now, at this book signing, the world record, Guinness World Holders came and actually gave us a Guinness World Record holder for being the most amount of authors signing simultaneously. So not only did it become an international bestseller, but I also became a Guinness World Record holder. So that was amazing. I was like, holy cow, this is such an awesome experience. And that prompted me to want to write my own story. So rather than have, a compilation, which is tremendous and awesome and amazing, I wanted to have my own voice alone in this book. And so I ended up pulling together experiences from my life and the message I want to convey, which is all about self-love. It's all about loving yourself, because as you love yourself, it will open you up to the possibilities in life. Because as you love yourself, you will now be open to having love come to you in different forms, whether it's an occupation that you really want to pursue, whether it's a person that you really want to connect with. You will now be open because you'll recognize your value. I think a lot of times people don't realize that they're constantly marketing themselves, and you need to come up with your unique selling proposition. What makes you you? What makes you the best version of you? Why are people lucky to be around you, fortunate? What is it about you that is so amazing, that is a blessing in people's lives? Because they say the root of all man's suffering lies in not being able to be in a room by yourself, which means if you don't like your own company, who the heck else is going to want to put up with you? So it's all about celebrating yourself and falling in love with yourself. And I know it sounds crazy, but imagine like you are now in, when we were in like extreme isolation, for example, people were miserable because they're like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck in this room and I don't even want to be around myself. And like, this is an opportunity. In every crisis, there is opportunity. And it's about, even if you can't go outside, you can go inside. And all of life happens inside of you. Whether you are in love, that happens inside of you, because you can love somebody from a distance. You can hate somebody from a distance. You can do everything from a distance because it all comes within you. So if you can change your inner world to just be one of peace, bliss, just accepting what is, then the whole world is at your fingertips. Then you won't be triggered in relationships the same way that you used to be. So that's what this book is all about. It's an exploration of really loving yourself, coming to terms with you are the center of your universe, and that it's okay. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to be selfish. And what I mean by that is, like, if we're in an airplane and it starts to crash, they always tell you put your mask on first, because until you save yourself, you can't save anyone else. And so often we try to pour from an empty cup. Fill your cup first. Take care of yourself first. Then you're showing the world that you matter, and you're giving people a reason to treat you better.
Yes, that is very nice of you. Okay, so how did publishing your first book change your process of writing?
Ooh. Yeah, I was actually blown away because I didn't know if I would be able to be published. I mean, even though I had had success up to now, in terms of, being with these different authors and compiling, these books to be given to publishers and then distributed, I was like, oh my gosh, me, myself, putting my voice into this book and then bringing it to a publisher. And there's so much rejection that happens at these things. And like, people don't realize that how challenging it can be, first of all, to actually sit down and just allow the words to flow. Because a lot of times we will be trapped in our minds and we'll start like stopping ourselves. Like, oh, that doesn't sound right. Oh no, that's not grammatically correct. Oh no, I can't put that in there. Oh my gosh, what will people think? So we start filtering ourselves, and how you do one thing is how you do everything. So a lot of times, we stop ourselves from doing things we really want to do because we're like, oh, what will my parents think? What will the neighbor think? What will my friends think? And it's about removing those blocks and just allowing the words to flow and recognizing that some people are going to celebrate you and some people are going to tolerate you. And it's okay. You know, some people are going to be with you for a season and some people are just there for a reason. And once you accept what is and start allowing yourself to just flow, let it flow, grow with the flow, you know, like sometimes it's not going to be pretty. Like I looked at my first draft of the book and I was like, what the heck is that? What did I mean here? And then you start reviewing it. You're like, oh, okay, that's what I meant. So I think it was really about just getting myself outside of my head, because I think a lot of nonsense happens here where you start like, you know, criticizing yourself or preventing yourself from doing what it is in you to do, and start listening to the wisdom of the heart. And the heart will tell you, you know what? You are good enough. You are valuable. You are worthy. Like, just let it flow. And if it doesn't sound right, that's okay. That's why there are editors. Editors can be your best friend. Let me tell you, you can put it all out there and then an editor can come along and just help you fine tune it. What I would say is that for me, it was just about stepping out of my own way and just allowing the words to flow. That was really the true progress that I saw and the shift in my writing.
Wow, that is really great. I'm, so much inspired by you. Okay, so as you know that I'm really happy that you joined my show today, Lal-ain's Diary. So as a gift, I made a video for you, combining all of the pictures from your different amazing happy memories. And I would like to share the screen. So can I share it now? Okay. Yes, I can. I will share it then. Just a minute. Okay, sometimes the StreamYard doesn't work. I'll try to get it. Okay, is it coming on the screen? Okay, can you see it clearly? You can turn on your mic and tell me if you can see it clearly.
I can see clearly.
Okay, then this is great. Yes. Okay, yeah, I hope that you loved this video. Yeah, did you like it?
Oh my gosh, it's so amazing. I loved it. I just loved everything about it. Like, wow. And it was bringing me back to all these amazing moments. And the music, I was like, this is awesome. I love it. Thank you so much. Shukriya.
I'm really happy that you loved it. Like, it was also very fun making this video, combining all of your beautiful moments in the form of picture in a video. It was really great. Okay, so can we get back to our conversation now? Like, from what were we talking about? Yeah, we were talking about the how did you publish books, right? Were we right? Okay, yeah. So those questions that I've asked you were all about your author and you're an actress. That is really great. But I've also got some unique questions that may be a little bit difficult, but they're very unique. because I always come up with different kinds of unique questions. So I want to ask you some unique questions. Can I?
Yes, you can.
Okay then. So the first question that I thought of it, if you could tell me that what is your favorite magical or mythological animal?
A unicorn.
Oh, a unicorn. Wow, that is a really great choice. I also love unicorns. Okay, this might be a funny question, but I want to ask you that what is or what was your favorite Disney fairy tale growing up?
Oh, it's a toss up between Beauty and the Beast and The Little Mermaid.
Beauty and the Beast. Oh, wow. That is, a really great choice of yours. And what was your favorite game to play as a child?
I liked hide and seek.
Hide and seek. Wow, that is, a really great game. And which songs do you think describes best of you?
I Am Light by India Ari. That is such a profound song.
Oh,
Definitely, yeah, that is just, I think that I could pick that song, that it's just that song. Yeah,
wow.
absolutely.
That is, a really great choice of yours while picking song. Okay. Now, the next question that I'm going to ask you, this would be like a game, like a little bit of game. Okay. So I will ask you to choose one of the things that I will say. Okay. But remember, you have to think fast and act fast. Okay, and choose one. So are we ready? You can
Right.
turn off the mic. I think the repetition voice is not just happening. So you can keep your mic turned on. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, then let's start the questionnaire then. Okay, one, two, and three. Popcorn or M&Ms?
Popcorn.
Popcorn. Okay, book or movie?
But
Book. Okay, pop music or rock music?
pop.
Pop. Okay, pancakes or waffles?
Pancakes.
Pancakes. Okay, hot chocolate or coffee?
Hot chocolate.
Uh, library or museums?
Library.
Theater or cinema?
Theater.
Okay, chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate. No, vanilla.
Okay.
Vanilla.
Okay, vanilla. Comedy or horror?
Comedy.
Comedy. Reading or writing?
Reading.
Superman or Batman?
Superman.
Superman. Okay. Aja board movie or Annabelle?
Annabelle.
Annabelle. Okay. BTS or Blackpink?
BTS.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat it?
Can you repeat the question?
Okay. BTS and Blackpink. These are, the K-pop groups.
Oh, I'm not sure. I guess Blackpink.
Okay, Blackpink. Nice choice. Okay. Snow White or Cinderella?
Cinderella.
Cinderella. Okay. Weird or crazy?
Weird.
Oh, weird. McDonald's or Burger King?
McDonald's.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Early bird. Okay, that's the end of it. It was very enjoying, was it? I
Yeah, it
really,
was fun.
yeah, it was really fun. Like these little choices of yours, it helped me to get to know more about you. It was really great. Well, I expected you to choose horror instead of comedy, but you chose comedy. Don't you like horror movies?
To be honest, I used to not like them at all. And then
Oh,
when I was in them, when I was starting to work in them, I started appreciating them from a cinematic point of view. And actually, it's incredible to be there and see the work that goes into it and all of the amazing, you know, aspects to it. But to be honest, I think like because the mind doesn't know what's fake and what's real, I think that it can actually cause me to go into a negative state. Whereas comedy makes me just laugh, and I'm a natural joker, as you probably have seen. So I think that comedy is far more me, but I definitely appreciate the talent and the workmanship that goes into putting together a horror movie. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, I'll choose comedy over horror anytime.
And the choice of yours between Annabelle and Aja Board movie. Why did you choose Annabelle over Aja Board movie? Like, I thought that you would choose Aja Board, but Annabelle is a little bit more scary. Yeah, it is a little bit scary. Do you
Yeah,
think?
I think so too. I think it was very unique the way it was done. And I was like, yeah, you know what? That's just the one that popped in my mind first. I don't even know that I would have to delve into both of them deeper. I'm not sure. Yeah. But it is very unique. And that's what really struck me. It's like, I've never seen another like it. Have you?
Maybe.
Yeah. It's pretty unique.
Okay. If you could hang out with any kind of cartoon character, who would you choose and why?
Did you ever watch the movie The Last Unicorn? Because I think that that movie speaks to my soul, and I would want to hang out with the last unicorn because I felt like that in my life when I was just like looking around the world and feeling like nobody really understands me. Like I'm so different, it seemed. Like no matter how hard I tried to fit in, I wasn't like anyone else. And then I suddenly realized that that's okay, that it's okay to be one of a kind because no two people are the same. We all have different fingerprints, and the whole point of that movie was the last unicorn realizing that she was the last one like herself. But then later on in the movie she found out that there were others like her, but they were being oppressed. They were being pushed under the water for the amusement of the king. And so she went on a quest to rescue them. And I think that for a lot of my life, I realized that I was being a woman. There is definitely oppression that happens in that capacity. Being, First Nation, like a Métis. So seeing what has happened in that capacity. I remember coming home from school one day and I was crying because we learned about the Indians, they called them. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's so horrible what they did to them. And I was crying. And my dad asked me, why are you crying? And I told him that I learned about the Indians. And he said, oh, you are one. And I was like, what? And so for me, that movie paralleled my journey because I thought that they were all killed. And then I found out that I was one. And it was kind of like The Last Unicorn when she realized that she was the only one. But then she's like, no, there are others. So I think that it would be a really neat journey to go and meet the last unicorn and celebrate who we are and recognize that we're not alone, and that we are part of a tapestry of magical, beautiful beings, and that we all have something to give. And when you come into your own and you really recognize that you are part of a larger picture, then that can be absolutely liberating and exhilarating. And so that movie to me was a celebration of coming into your own, of being able to recognize that just because things might seem one way doesn't mean that that's how they really are. And along the journey to rescuing the other unicorns, this unicorn started discovering friends in different forms. And I feel like that's what I'm doing. I'm finding friends all across the world, amazing, beautiful souls like you. that are just so incredible and are bringing such beauty to this world. So that's who I would choose.
Your choice is, pretty unique.
Oh, you
If
froze.
you could, yeah, if you could, magically be fluent in any language, what language would you choose?
I would say Urdu or Hindi. I I would love to know one of those two languages. Um, Urdu because I've had more experience lately speaking to Urdu audiences, and I find it such an incredible language. Hindi because I really wanted to break into the Bollywood scene.
Wow, that is, some great choices of yours. And one more question. Would you rather be a superhero or the world's best chef?
Ooh. Oh wow. Well, you know what? I think I would have to choose a superhero. Although I am a foodie. I do love food. I'm definitely a food appreciator. But I think a superhero would be my choice because at least then I would be able to help humanity raise to a higher vibration and stop the oppression, stop injustice, and really stand for, a better tomorrow. Whereas a chef, I would be bringing joy to people, but I wouldn't be able to make the changes I want to on that level.
That is a really good choice of yours. And also, uh, if you name two movies right now, can you name two movies? Any movies? Like two of them.
Once for Warriors. I love that movie, and nobody's ever heard of it for whatever reason. And The Last Unicorn. Yay!
And now explain that why did you choose these two movies? What is the reason that these two movies came in your mind first?
Hmm. Well, I think The Last Unicorn came in my mind because I was just talking about it, and it was such a profound movie in
I
my
also guess
childhood. Yeah, that one was just so awesome to me. I just loved how it was filmed and the story. And every time I watch it, I just get something new from it. So I definitely really love that movie from my childhood. And then from my adulthood, it would be Once for Warriors. And they're both kind of a similar theme in the sense that it's about, seeing what, the pain can become. Like you don't necessarily have to be defined by your past. The reason that the car is the way it is, you have a small rear view mirror so that things in your back and in your past are not as important as what's coming. The windshield is big because what's coming is more important than what happened before. And I think that that's really what these movies are all about. It's that despite, being abused and silenced and mitigated and oppressed in the Once Were Warriors movie, it was a horrible, painful experience that she went through, but it allowed her to step into her strength. It allowed the main character to realize that she can have better, that she can do more. And what she did was she freed herself from that abuse and she stepped into her power. And she said, you know what? I know that I am worthy. I know that I am valuable. I know that I'm a child of God and that I deserve the very best. And maybe Jake is not the right man for me, and that's okay. And she let him go. She freed him to find the life that he deserves and to step into her worth, her value, her love, to have a better life for herself and her children.
These two reasons are really great of you choosing these two movies. Now you've told me the movie names, I am thinking of trying to watch them. Okay, yeah, I really also like the unicorn movie. I'm definitely going to watch it. So, okay, would you like to give us a message, any kind of message that you want to give to our audience?
You got it. I would say that anybody watching this program right now, you are here for a reason. Now, a lot of us, we get beaten up, and I'm talking about the bully inside of us. Like we always talk about external bullying, school bullying, online bullying. What about the bully inside of you? We talk about the thieves that could steal from you on the street, but what about the thief inside of your mind that steals your dreams, that steals your purpose, that steals your passion? I would say start paying attention to what you put in head office. Recognize that you are infinitely valuable. You were chosen. You were wonderfully and fearfully made. You beat out all the other sperm to get here, and there is a reason for you to be here. So I encourage you to explore your talents, to take the time to see what resonates with you. What movies have you seen that really bring out something in you? What I loved about this segment today is that Lily was actually asking me, what are the movies that really impacted you? Because you know what? Those are clues to what your purpose in life is. If you are somebody that watched Braveheart, for example, and you were crying at Braveheart at that part where he's like, freedom, then that might be a sign that you really hold liberation as a strong core value. And that can be a sign of what you are here to do. Maybe you are here to be a messenger of peace, to help people step into their purpose, their passion, and break free of wage slavery. Maybe you are here to be a force for change. Maybe you are here to be a peacekeeper. Maybe you are here to care for the animals. Whatever it is, find that reason that is bigger than yourself, and you will find the joy. Because I think so often we push down our joy. We make ourselves miserable thinking about what we can't do rather than what we can do. So, my advice, my encouragement, my challenge for you today is to start delving into what makes you unique. What are your unique gifts, those skills, those aspects to yourself that are God given? And to start celebrating the wonderful magic of you.
Thank you so much for your amazing message, and thank you very, very much for joining today. It was, really fun talking with you. And you are, as you told before, that you are, a match in the comedy movies, and your way of talking really makes me smile. You are a really cheerful person and a kind person as well. Thank you so much for joining today. I enjoyed so much, and I hope that you enjoyed too.
Absolutely. I loved it. Love you. You're amazing. Thank you so much for having me here. And just keep on being the awesomeness that is you.
It was such a great session with you, and I hope that you will join again. Bye.
Bye.
So it was a really great session with Miss Cynthia Stone, and I hope that you all enjoyed it as well. Well, if you ask me, I enjoyed it so much. Like, I had so many questions, and I guess some of them were a little bit hard. Yeah, they were a little bit hard, but some of them were a little bit more unique. These unique questions are always revolving in my mind, and I really love to ask unique questions to people. It was it was such an honor to have a great person who is an actress, an author. Like, she has many talents. It was really great having her in our show. It was, time passed by really fast, but I really enjoyed. It was really great having her, and I hope that you all enjoyed this session as well. Thank you, everyone, for commenting. So don't forget to like, share, and comment. We'll meet you in the next session, inshallah. Allah Hafiz, everyone.